Okay, I'm going to answer the question for you of how to make blue cheese dressing. And yes, I know you can buy it in the store, but you may want to make it yourself, because then you can make it as cheesy as you want, or you can adjust it a little bit, and I'll show you right now, okay? Ready? Here we go. I have a cup of mayonnaise here, and I'm going to put some gorgonzola cheese in it. I buy it probably, and this is the spooky part now, because you get to kind of make this as cheesy as you want. And you can also adjust the texture of this when you get it all put together by putting it in a food processor if you want. I don't usually do that because I want to see some chunks. And then, of course, you could do both. So I have about a cup of gorgonzola cheese in there, so it's equal parts with the mayonnaise. Now, this recipe is targeted towards using commercial mayonnaise. So don't be going to the mayonnaise lesson that I have for you in the skills course to use it. This should be made with commercial mayonnaise, okay? So I'm going to put a very small amount of sugar in here. That's like a teaspoon or less, probably 3/4 of a teaspoon. I'm going to put some minced garlic in here, like 1, 2, maybe 3 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon. I'm going to put a little tiny amount of white vinegar, like 1 capful off your little bottle, or a teaspoon. Let me measure this one because I don't want to accidentally. There's 2 things you don't want to do. You don't want to make this vinegary, and you don't want to put so much sugar in it that's sugary. And believe me, I've made these mistakes. That's why I'm telling you this. It's very easy to do. I'm going to give you 2 teaspoons. Let's go 3 teaspoons of white vinegar, okay? And I'm going to put some fresh ground black pepper in here, a teaspoon or so. And I'm going to put some chopped parsley in here. Just give it a little green-looking, herbal kind of look, you know? I'm going to mix this together. Now, I'm going to adjust the texture of this with some heavy cream. A little bit at a time, as if you're adding salt to it. You don't want to make it too thin. You can always add more cream to it as you're going along. And this is the stage. You have 2 variables here that at this stage you can, as the cook, can determine how you want your blue cheese sauce to be. If you want it to be really cheesy, you know you got enough cheese or you don't have enough cheese. And you make the adjustment. And how thin do you want this? Are you using this as a dip for raw veg? Then you might want it a little thicker so it doesn't run off the vegetable when people dip in it. On the other hand, if you want to pour it on a salad, you might want it a little bit thinner. So you need to make that call when you're making it based on what you intend to do with this, okay? So I'm going to make this as if, I'll make it somewhere in the middle. That way I can use it for anything, you know? A little more. I got about a cup of cream in here now, okay? So a cup. It's that simple, basically. As long as you have all the ingredients on hand and ready to go, you can make your own blue cheese dressing in a minute. So let's taste this and see if I did the right thing here. I shouldn't say this, but it came out perfect the first time. Of course, sometimes when I make these things, I make them for you on the video, and then I write the recipe out. I find cooking is better than looking at a recipe and trying to duplicate it. Instead, you want to be able to make the item yourself if you need to write a recipe. In this case, I do, but you want to make the item yourself, then write the recipe. Otherwise, you're working against the recipe instead of doing the cooking part, you know? Let me just taste this one more time for fun. As far as I'm concerned, this is perfect. Again, the main variation If you want it to be a little more cheesier, you can even take half of this, put it in the food processor and puree it, and then reincorporate it back into this and mix it. It might make it a little more in-depth cheesier rather than relying on eating bites of cheese, which is just fine for me. So there you have it, blue cheese dressing, and it's quick. All right, have fun with this. Bye.